You might think that if you watch my videos every fortnight that I'm always gifted awesome weather, but that's not the case. I try to get out as much as possible, and although I used to come away from a location disappointed if I didn't get any winning shots, now I just embrace more than ever being out in the elements. Today's video is a recce of a nearby location, but I end up leaving with some images that I'm pretty happy with. If you take anything away from today's video, then it's to manage your expectations and just enjoy being out with your camera.
Good morning everybody. This morning I have brought you to the beautiful little town that is Arundel. Now as you can see from behind me, we're not expecting any epic sunrise this morning, but I thought I would take this opportunity to just scout out a few locations so that I can come back here when the weather is favourable. Today I'm in search of a composition which has got a nice clean foreground, the river, which is kind of like an S shape, and then that leads you up to the castle, and then the castle is just on the background on the top of the hill. As soon as I came in, I've followed the footpath, I've taken a left, and I've followed the footpath towards the castle because my instinct said, oh, you need to get closer to the castle. However, as you can see, there are quite a few of these pontoons just jutting out into the river, but there's no clean foreground whatsoever. And actually, this path is a dead end. I actually followed it all the way to the end and you can't go any closer, and the museum and other things are just in front of the castle. But this is the whole point of scouting, so I'm going to go back in the direction that I came from, which is essentially south, and I'm going to see if I can find a cleaner composition. Alright, I'm pretty much at the spot that I was looking for. The river is not as windy in reality as I imagined it. I'm not sure why. This river is definitely curving. However, when you try to put the castle in the shot from eye level, it's not as winding as I thought it was. But I found a composition. The conditions are not great. I'm going to take a photograph anyway, don't judge me. But I wanted to just get a composition whilst I was here so that I can come back and I've nailed the composition. Now initially I thought that this was going to be a wide angle lens shot. However, that is not the case. I've put on a 24-105 and this shot is in the region of 50 or 60 millimeters. So for this particular image, wide angle lens is no good. All right, so we got ISO 100, f8, 1/13 of a second, 2-second timer, focused on the boats. There you go, and you just have to add color and a beautiful sunrise. I tell you what, if I were to return here when there's a bit of mist, this could be quite special.
When I was on location, I was content with the mediocre images that I walked away with, but I actually quite liked them once I'd edited them and brought out some of the detail in the sky.
I suspect every time you come here, there'll be different boats, more or less mess. It's amazing when you look at photographs like this, in really good lighting conditions, you just see the light. When you're here, I can't help but look at the mess, which is all of those pontoons and the different boats, the different sizes, the different shapes. The pontoons look very handmade. So it's amazing. Yeah, if I were to come here, take a photograph in good light, you probably wouldn't be so distracted by those boats over there. I don't often make videos with such miserable grey skies, and in reality, I think for every YouTube video that I make, I probably go out maybe 3 or 4 times as much. So at the moment it's getting into spring, I'm limited to weekends, but in the summer I'd probably go out at sunrise, maybe sunset after work, and then the weekends. So what I'm just showing you here is the reality. My videos, probably suggest that I just get really lucky and I only go out when the conditions are awesome, but in reality all I'm showing you is the best bits, which is what social media just does all the time. Social media being Instagram, Vero, Facebook and YouTube. If you were to look at my videos, they're pretty much all just the best of. So this video is different because this is just reality. And that's why I'm calling it a recce. So I'm not actually disappointed that the conditions are not great this morning. I just wanted to get out with my camera. I think I actually prefer the portrait composition. It seems to clean things up a little bit. I prefer shooting things in odd numbers. And when you've got a whole row of boats, how many are there? 9 boats. It's just a bit too much, isn't it? So I think when you go portrait, you can start to lop off some of the boats on the edge. Portrait on a daylight. Today doesn't work because there's no real interest in the sky. But when I come back, I'm definitely going to be shooting some portraits.
I returned to the location on a sunny day, albeit a very boring clear blue sky day, but you can read the curve of the river a bit better in the sunnier version. This final image shows a composition with more of the river between the boats and the bank opposite. However, this no longer reads as a curve, almost a straight line. Achieving a composition showing the curvature of the river from eye level is therefore quite tricky, and I don't think I've nailed it. Perhaps I will return with my drone to get an elevated perspective in better conditions. If you have enjoyed today's recce, then you should check out my video on Hjorn Tower, which is essentially in the rear garden of Arundel Castle. I'll put a link to that at the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.